So, despite the picture I have up right now, I'm not talking about the disappointing war we saw in season 8 of Game of Thrones. Not talking about that. I just thought the picture here looked kind of sick. That's it. I'm talking about the first long night that happened about 8,000 years before the main show started. It's much more epic and horrifying, in my opinion. Also, different cultures in the world of A Song of Ice and Fire have their own theories and beliefs as to why it happened, because it didn't just affect Westeros, it affected the a lot of the planet or of the world of Game of Thrones or whatever. So I'll be talking about a few of them as well. So let's get it. So about 10,000 plus years ago, right? The only people on Westeros were these guys, the Children of the Force. Those were the only people there. But then the first men invaded and a war for the continent ensued. As the Children of the Force started losing, um, they were desperate to turn the tide. You see, the Children of the Forest they had like some magical abilities, but they just could not stand for the overwhelming warriorhood, I guess, that the first men had. So they're desperate to turn the tide. A group of green seers resorted to dark magic and kidnapped one of the first men, this guy, and they turned him into the first White Walker, the Night King. Uh, the White Walker's purposes were just to protect the children of the forest, but they grew out of control and became a threat to everything living. The Night King started the long night, an endless dark winter. Thousands starved, kings froze to death in their castles, mothers smothered their babies rather than seeing them starve to death. Um, while all that was happening, the White Walkers descended from the north with an army of undead called Whites. They rode dead frozen horses and hunted with packs of frozen pale ice spiders as big or bigger than hounds. I'm glad we didn't see that in the show. That would have been terrifying for me. They swept through cities and kingdoms, killing everyone and adding to their army. So the children of the forest and the first men formed the pact, and stood against the undead in a war called the Battle for the Dawn. And eventually, they were able to defeat the White Walkers and push them back into the north. After that, the first men, the children of the forest, and giants build the wall to keep the White Walkers stuck in the north. The wall is 700 feet tall and forged from stone, ice, and some say it was even infused with magic. The ancient order of the Night's Watch was formed to guard the wall should they ever return. This ended the long night that had lasted an entire generation. So, stories of the Long Night are also found in lands from beyond Westeros. Several cultures in Essos talk about a similar event that happened at the same time. The descendants of the Roinar people tell tales that the mighty Rhoyne River froze as far south as Salharu, which is pretty far south in Essos. They believe the long night only ended when one single hero besieged Mother Rhoyne, the goddess of the river, along with her minor deities who were her children. They joined together and sung a magical song which brought back the dawn. That's what the Rhoynar say. I briefly mentioned this in a previous video, but before the Golden Empire of Yiti was there, another city called the Great Empire of the Dawn was there. The people of there and Yiti believe in two major gods, the Lion of Night and the Maiden Maid of Light. And at the start of time, these two gods had a child. This child being the god on earth. And he was the first god emperor of this empire. Thousands and thousands of years later, he served for like 10,000 years, and thousands of years later, one of his descendants, the Amethyst Empress, rose to power as the first female ruler. However, her younger brother was jealous of this, so in typical A Song of Ice and Fire fashion, he usurped and murdered her, becoming the Bloodstone Emperor in an event called the Blood Betrayal. Because of this, the Maiden Maid of Light turned away from humanity in shame and disgust, and the Lion of Night came forth with his wrath to punish mankind. He caused the sun to hide its face, inflicting the cold and darkness of the long night for a lifetime. The great empire fell, and the Bloodstone Emperor was the last God Emperor. It only ended when a great hero wielding a flaming sword known as Lightbringer restored light to the world. Similar stories are also found in Ashai. After the great darkness descended upon the land, a hero known as Azor Ahai, wielding the flaming sword Lightbringer, beat the darkness to win back the dawn. This story is also told in other regions, with Azor Ahai going by other names depending on the region the story is being told. Other names include Hirkun the Hero, Yentar Nefarion, and Eldrick Shadow Chaser. But the different names, it's all the same story. A man with a flaming sword known as Lightbringer beating back the darkness and bringing back the light, basically. Uh, that's all I got for you today. That is The Long Night. Like and subscribe if you did enjoy. Leave a comment of what you thought and hit the notification bell to be notified of all my future videos and all that great stuff. I truly do appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a great day. Peace.